Good morning. This is Deanna with Food Bank Beautiful. It is Saturday, March 2nd. So what? We got 19-20 days till the first day of spring. Earlier this morning, you saw me take care of getting some eggs incubated. And today we're going to have to cook. Now, a lot of you will have watched my food bank haul from yesterday, and it was big, right? It is big. So there are some things that I need to do today for a number of reasons. Number one, I don't have room in my freezer, so I need to cook some things, put them in the refrigerator, and Grandma and I will eat on them for the rest of the week. So let's talk about that first, and then I'm going to show you, I did my $35 a week grocery haul, and I want to show you what that looks like, and then we'll talk about that, and then we'll start one thing at a time. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I am going to take this big thing of hamburger, and I'm going to divide it down in half, and I'm going to make a meatloaf. And then I'm going to make some egg rolls. Okay, I'm going to do both of those today. The egg rolls are perfect in the air fryer, egg fryer, in the air fryer, and the meatloaf is just yummy all the way around. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take these 2 packs, and these are frozen solid. They've been in the refrigerator overnight. We got these 2 packs, yesterday's food bank haul. I am going to take those and I'm going to make some Parmesan fried chicken. It's super yummy, super easy, and we love to eat it cold all week long. I slice it in top of salads, I slice it into sandwiches, we just eat it. We can warm it up and eat it with mashed potatoes or baked potatoes, it doesn't matter. So that's what I'm going to do there. I don't want to can this ground beef. I certainly could, but I don't want to because I have plenty of browned ground beef on my shelves for anything that I might need it for. So I'm going to take the opportunity to use non-browned meat, raw hamburger, and make a meatloaf and the egg rolls. Now, I'm also going to make a potato salad. So we've got 4 things we're making today. We're making potato salad, and one of you viewers sent me a comment yesterday and said, you didn't word it this way, but basically it was like, hey girl, you got potatoes, you got onions, you got mayonnaise, make yourself a potato salad. And I thought, oh my God, I love potato salad. Yeah, let's do. So I'm making potato salad. Then we're going to make the meatloaf, get that in the oven. Then I'm going to make the egg rolls, because those take a while to fry, but they're so worth it. Remember we saved some of that cabbage a day or 2 ago? We're going to use that and some shredded carrots, and we're going to make some really nice egg rolls. And then we're going to make the fried chicken. Whew. On top of all that, this girl has to do laundry. Oh, Deanna, do you have a ton of your own laundry to do? No. No, I do not. No. Can you hear Grandma? The black chickens are in there tormenting her while she's trying to eat her breakfast. Do you have a lot of Grandma's laundry to do? No. No, I do not. What laundry do you have? Well, I'll tell you what I have. I have a living room full of sheets and blankets that need to be run through the wash machine. Now, I clean those up, with wipies all day long, but there comes a point where visually they need to go in the wash machine. That day is today. So we're doing that, and then, is that everything? That's what we're doing. That's what we're cooking. Okay, now let's talk about the groceries that I spent my $35 on. I am loaded with everything that I need. So what I spent my grocery budget on this week was getting a little supply of a couple of things while I had the budget to do it, because I don't need to buy milk or any type of meat or even any produce or even any fruit. So I'm really in good shape. So what I did was I want to make a lentil hamburger soup that one of the viewers, Bumblebee, You know I'm talking about you. Bumblebee sent me a recipe for a lentil hamburger soup. I've been so afraid to eat lentils. I've had them twice, I think, in my life. One time I did not like them at all. The second time it was an Arabic dish. I don't remember what it's called, but it's rice and lentils, and then it has caramelized onions on the top, and it is delicious. But I haven't wanted to make that. So we're going to make, if all goes well, we're going to make her hamburger lentil soup. So for that recipe, I have dried parsley, but her recipe I think calls for fresh. And I went ahead and got some fresh. I'll use what I need for her recipe, and then I will dehydrate the rest. Okay? I also got some cilantro. Did I? Wow, that doesn't even smell like cilantro. I'm a little worried. Yeah, okay, it tastes like cilantro. Okay, we got some cilantro. Again, I'm going to use part of it in a Mexican dish. I'll either make a taco soup, or I'll make tacos, or I'll make both. I'm going to use a little bit of fresh. I'm going to prep it so it'll stay in the refrigerator for a week or so, and then I'll dehydrate the rest. Now, because I had the money to do so, I went ahead and got 4 butters, 2 butters, 4 packs. Seems a little bit excessive, but to me, butter is everything. Butter makes everything taste good, right? We go through a lot of butter in this house. Food Bank, it does give me butter, and I've been quite fortunate for most of December and January and February. Most of my butter was Food Bank butter. But I am at the end of that. So I have about a half a container and 2 cubes of Food Bank butter. So I went ahead and got butter. That'll just go in my refrigerator, and I will use it as necessary. That takes care of that bag. Doesn't take much, does it? The next bag, I needed oil. I'm going to fry a bunch of things today. I have enough oil to fry, I believe, what I'm going to fry today, but I don't have any oil beyond that. So I think this is the first time I've had to buy oil in maybe 2 months. But if you don't get it at the food bank, you need to budget for it. The next thing I got was 2 little things of Walmart's brand Heinz 57 because I want to make a meatloaf. And I like meatloaf the way I like my meatloaf. Now, I didn't have to get this. This is luxury to make the meatloaf, but I want it to be super, super good. I want us to enjoy it, and I'm going to use one of those for the meatloaf, and one is going to go on the pantry shelf for next time. Also, because I'm making egg rolls, I got a jar of sweet and sour sauce. That'll be good. That'll last for this batch of egg rolls and probably the next 3 times I make egg rolls. So that's good. So we'll stick that down here. Then I got a container of Parmesan cheese, just the generic Great Value kind. I have about a half a jar, and that is not enough to make the fried chicken. So I needed to get another container. We've got that. Then this is an item that I got, again, with Bumblebee's hamburger lentil soup in my mind. Okay, I was just missing this. This and the parsley. And I could have used dried parsley, and it would have been absolutely perfect, I'm sure. But I want to follow her recipe exact the first time I make it. Now, you heard me say exact, but you know that I do voodoo in the kitchen, right? We don't know what's going to happen. And then I'm getting low on this, and I make a ton of soup. So I always try to keep one in backup. And that, my friends, is $35 worth of the groceries. Okay, that's my grocery budget for this week. But it's going to make everything that I make this week and probably for the next 2 or 3 weeks taste really, really good. So that's how I do it. I look at my food bank haul. I decide what I have all of the ingredients for, what I have most of the ingredients for. Do I have enough in my budget to get a little extra to make it, you know, good, better, best, right? This makes my meatloaf best. Also, because Food Bank has been so generous to me, I am fine on my other luxuries. I have enough coffee creamer for the next week to 10 days. I have enough coffee in my house. I'm on my coffee now. I have enough coffee. I have enough flour and sugar for anything that I think I'm going to do for the next, I'm probably good for the month on flour and sugar and brown sugar. I've got plenty of eggs. So I don't really need anything. This is the time where I can use my grocery budget to get a couple of the things that make what I have go from good to better to best. Okay, now I can make a meatloaf without that Heinz 57 sauce and it'll be good. I can make it with onions and tomato sauce and breadcrumbs, all of that, Food Bank, and it'll be better. I can make it with this and it goes to best. All right. So that's what we're going to do today. I am just going to give you little clips of stuff. Otherwise, this video will last for hours and hours. So let's get started and I'll see you guys along the way. All right. Okay. Okay. We are going to start with the two meatloafs, the one meatloaf and the other half of the hamburger for the egg roll. So right down in front of me, I have the package, and I'm just going to go ahead and put the ground beef in this frying pan. Does my phone want to do that? Oh. No, it does not. Okay, I think we're okay there. All right, so I've washed my hands. I have a clean frying pan. I'm just going to throw this hamburger in there. To this, after it's browned, I'm going to add shredded carrots, cabbage, and onion. Actually, I can add the onion in with the hamburger. So there's that. I'm going to salt and pepper it. It's going to have soy sauce in it, so I'm going to do a very light salt and pepper. Maybe quarter of a teaspoon. I'm going to add a little bit of pepper. Maybe about a teaspoon. And then to that, I'm going to grab my frozen onions and we're going to throw a handful of frozen onions in here and we're going to let that start cooking for us. We don't need much. That'll work. So I'm going to put that on the burner behind me, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to mix our meatloaf. I'm going to turn my oven on to 350. We'll keep an eye on this. Okay, there's that. Oven is set to 350. Pulled out my baking sheet. Whoa. Door got away from me. And let's get this bad boy started. This is the meatloaf. Nothing fancy here. So here's my, I think that's a little bit more than a pound. What does the thing say? 6, 15. It's a little bit more than 3 pounds, the whole package. So it's about 1.5 pounds. That should be lovely for a meatloaf. We're going to start with that. Give it a little of this. Put those onions away a little bit too soon. Question is, where did I put them? Seriously. Oh, I left them on the counter over there. I'm going to have to make some breadcrumbs. So I'll do that and come back to you. Just a nice handful of onion. This is why I keep my onions like this, because I don't have to do this every time I'm going to cook. To that, we're going to add 2 eggs. Let me grab those. And you can see in my egg container, I have 5 eggs that are mine and 6 eggs that are food bank. These eggs I use for when we're eating an egg. Fried eggs, scrambled eggs, egg sandwich. I try to do the baking where it does, oh, that was a double yolk, you guys. Wow, I've been getting those with these jumbos. That's nice. Now, I don't buy these. These eggs are food bank eggs. So far, everything in here is food bank. The breadcrumbs will also be food bank because I'm just going to use, let me show you what I'm going to use. I have this. It's Greek pita, and I'm just going to use 1 or 2 of those, run them through my blender, and make some breadcrumbs. Actually, I might toast these because I think that's what I'm going to do. Let me put these in the oven and let them toast a little bit, and we'll make toasted breadcrumbs. There we go. It's as easy as that. Now, to this, I'm going to add one of these. This is going to be in place of tomato sauce. Now, if you were making from your food bank supplies, you would just use your can of tomato sauce. You don't have tomato sauce, you've got tomato soup, you could use that. You could take your diced tomatoes and use those. You can run them in or out of the blender. You could strain them. You could do whatever you wanted to do. That looks pretty good. It smells good. It's yummy. All right, now I have to mix this up by hand, and I don't enjoy that. I'm going to go put a pair of gloves on because I don't like my hands in meat. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, and I know I have to add breadcrumbs to this, but I'm going to go ahead and work this in where we are right now. That hamburger's a little tiny bit frozen, and I want it to do its getting all mixed, getting those clumps broken up. Wow, that's cold. My hands are never going to warm up again. Okay, I'll come back when we're ready to add the crumbs, and then at that point we'll be able to stick it in the bread pan and we can get our meatloaf going. I'm going to keep those. Okay. Okay, I'm browning the meat. You can see that's coming along perfectly fine. We will strain the fat out of that. And then I'm going to add cabbage and carrots. Now the cabbage is also a food bank item. The carrots are not. I purchased those on last week's grocery budget. From Walmart, I think they're like $1.28. I certainly could have run my carrots. I still had to purchase my carrots, so either way the carrots are mine. I could have run those through the grater that I have, but life is too short. I don't want to do that. Okay, there we go. That's where we're at right now. All right, I added the cabbage and the carrots. I'm going to stir that up and let it cook now until all that hamburger is browned. Okay, you can see that those are toasted nicely. They're toasted on both sides. I'm going to make breadcrumbs with those in a few minutes. This is doing its thing. It's looking good. Over here, I have peeled the potatoes. I started with those little brown ones that needed some attention, and then I added a few of the red. Now, I'm not going to make a ton of this. I really only like potato salad on the day I make it. Grandma will eat it the day I make it and a day or two after that. And then I'm going to give a serving size to the guy upstairs along with some fried chicken and some egg rolls and maybe some meatloaf. He's going to get a little bit of everything to help him through the week. So I'm going to go ahead and just make a small amount. I'm going to put this on to boil in a few minutes, and then I'm going to add probably 3 eggs. Here are my potatoes. I just put them on the stove. I'll go ahead and start boiling those. And then right over here, I have 3 eggs, and I'm just going to pop those into the potato water the last 5 minutes. And because I'm going to do that, I washed my eggs. All right, just to be on the safe side, because I'm going to pop those right into the potato water. So that should be fine. We'll keep an eye on that. This is the most important thing. I have unloaded my dishwasher this morning, and I'm going to keep my dishes caught up so that I don't have a terrific mess when I'm done at the end of the day. So right now, we have breadcrumbs that need to be made. We have a meatloaf that is just waiting for the breadcrumbs. Don't get dizzy, people. We have the egg roll filling. And I like my egg roll filling to have lots of really dark brown hamburger. I think the flavor is excellent when it's in an egg roll. So I'm really going to take my time and get that browned up really nice. We have our potatoes boiling. I just checked them. They're about maybe 10, 12 minutes out. And I've got my eggs ready to go in. There's the dishwasher. There's the sinks. There's stuff I've washed by hand. Now, this you might be able to see is getting what I want. I want some really nice dark brown pieces of meat because the flavor on that is so good in an egg roll. I don't know if the light is picking that up. So I'm going to give this another turn. And then I'm going to let it crispy up one more time on the bottom, and then the filling can be set aside until I can get to it. In the meantime, we'll work on our meatloaf, our breadcrumbs, and our potato salad. Chicken over here is fine, but it's got a ways to go yet, which is fine because I've got some time before I can even deal with it. Okay, we're doing good, people. Okay, we are moving right along. Potatoes are boiling. I've added the eggs. The filling for the egg rolls is done. I'm going to do a taste test for you in just a second. I have my Beastie blender out. I have broken up my bread into about this size pieces. It's nice and toasty. I'm going to make breadcrumbs. Now, I'm not going to leave the sound on for you. I'm going to go ahead and do that off screen because nobody wants to listen to that. Okay. All right, I'll be back in a second and we'll taste that filling. Okay, let's do our taste test of the egg roll filling. I don't know if you can see that or not, but you can see how nice and brown I got that meat. I really want that flavor in my egg roll filling. So let's taste it and see if we're going to be happy. Mmm. That is perfect. There is not a thing in this world I would do differently. So it's browned hamburger, browned in its own fat. It's got onions, carrots, cabbage, soy sauce, and sesame seed oil. Of all of those ingredients, the shredded carrots are mine, the soy sauce is mine, and the sesame seed oil is mine. That is delicious. Stick around because I'm going to roll those puppies up and we're going to fry them and we're going to eat all day, people. We're going to eat all day. Put your sweatpants on, right? Throw your bathroom scales out the window. And since you've got your sweatpants on, I know you've got cake in there. I know you do. Cake, pie, something, cookies. What else? Ice cream. I know you've got something. Now's the day to do it because we're going to eat a lot today. All right, I'll be back. Oh, wait, I want to show you. Actually, I'll do it right here. Let me just check my potatoes. I'll leave the camera on. Okay, my potatoes are done. So in about 2 minutes, my eggs will be done and I'll pull that off the burner. So that's my breadcrumbs, right? Using kind of stale-ish bread. We just saved ourselves, I don't know what a can of breadcrumbs runs. What, $2 maybe? Less than that? I don't know. Doesn't matter. We saved it. So I'm going to start with half of that because I don't know how much I'm really going to need. And I might need more than that because it looks like I got a little heavy-handed with the Heinz 57 sauce or the Zesty steak sauce, the Walmart brand. I compared the ingredients. They're the same thing. They both have raisin juice in it. So I'm not expecting any taste difference. And I'd rather pay $2.78 than $5.98 a bottle. I wish I could find a recipe online to make my own version of Heinz 57 and can it. Maybe we'll have to look at that. Okay, I think maybe I don't want a dry meatloaf. We don't want to go through all that trouble of a dry meatloaf in the end. I'm going to add a little more pepper. And I don't think I'm going to add any salt because there should be plenty of salt in the Heinz 57. And I am going to put a glaze on top. So that should be perfect. Let me add just a little, maybe just a 1/4 cup more, I think is all it's going to need. And I'm going to reach behind me and turn my potatoes off. There we go. Everything on the stove is off now. I'll strain those potatoes in just a minute. I think that's perfect. What do you guys think? I think we're okay. That looks just about the way I want it to. All right, let's get a loaf pan. I'm going to line it with parchment paper because nobody wants to clean up a meatloaf pan. Nobody. All right, I'll come back when I'm at the next step of whatever's next, okay? Here are the meatloaf. They're getting ready to go in the oven. They'll bake for an hour. At the 45-minute mark, I'll top the top with a little bit of that Heinz 57, and they'll finish baking with that on top. Those should be delicious. Okay, the meatloaf. I pulled that out of the oven. I damped up the fat on top. I glazed them with the Heinz 57 and in the Walmart version of Heinz 57 and popped it back in the oven for 15 minutes. After that, I got all of the ingredients ready for the potato salad. So let's take a look at it. So, let's see. Is that pretty good? Okay. So this is what we have. We have the potatoes. Chop those up. We've got the 3 eggs are chopped. We have some dill pickle relish. We have a little dollop of mustard that got covered up. We have some Food Bank cheddar cheese, and then I took some of that manchego. Not all of it, but I just grated a little bit of it in there because I had some. Now, we're going to add some salt and pepper. Let me do that. About a teaspoon of salt, maybe a little bit more. I can always add more, so let's stop there. I want the pepper. About a teaspoon. Okay, so let's review. The potatoes, the eggs, the mayonnaise, and the orange cheese and the white cheese are food bank. What is mine is the mustard and the dill pickle relish. So let's give that a stir, and then we will do a taste test. It's probably going to need a little more mayo. We'll see. Now, everybody is particular about their potato salad, I think. Everybody likes their own potato salad the best. I will only eat my potato salad. I don't like deli potato salad. I don't like my family's potato salad. I definitely would not want to hurt any of my friends' feelings, but I don't like their potato salad either. I like mine. And I only really like mine on the day I make it, maybe the next day, but usually not. So for me, this is what I'll predominantly eat today because this is the day that I really enjoy it. All right, so I can see I'm going to add a little more mayonnaise. Let me grab that. Okay, threw in a little more mayonnaise. Let's get that all nice and mixed in. Nobody wants a dry potato salad. Looks good. I'm so glad one of you mentioned that in your comments because it sounded so good when I read it yesterday. I knew I was going to make it today. All right, now that looks good to me. I don't think we need any more mayo. I'm going to taste it now for mustard, dill pickle, salt, and pepper. We're going to see what I think. Here we go. I think a little more mustard and a little more pepper. Does not need any more dill pickle. It does not need any more cheese. I do think it needs that. And let me get a clean spoon. I go through about every single spoon in my house when I cook with you guys. All right. Just gonna add about that much more. Let's mix. Oh, I don't have you down here. We're crooked, but you should be okay. All right, let's try that. Sometimes I have I don't know if it's an herb or a seasoning, it's called sumac. And sometimes I will put sumac on the top. It's a really nice, bitter, red, I don't know what it is. My husband likes it. We usually get it at the Middle Eastern grocery store, but I think you can get it anywhere. And I usually top my potato salad with sumac. That isn't something I did originally because I've been making this for 30 or 40 years, but that's probably been the only addition I've made in all those years. Okay, let's see. Let me go wipe that off. Okay, let's try this. Let's see what we think. Hopefully this will be good and I can cross this off the list and we will have completed something else. There it is. You see it? Can you hear my birds? They are right underneath my feet because they have learned that stuff drops to the floor when I cook. Here we go. Okay, I think we have it. I think it's good. I don't think we need to add anything else. So I'm going to call it. I'm going to put it in a Tupper with a lid, and I'm going to make a separate Tupper for the guy upstairs so that I can give him some things when I'm done cooking. He is a great guy. He helps my husband a lot along the lines of what needs to be done on the property. Plus, with my husband gone, he is so sweet. He just, you know, about every day or every other day, he asks me if I need anything. Is there anything he can help me with? Am I having any issues? I mean, he's just adorable. So he is a painter, and he was laid off for a time. I think he's just started going back to work this week. And because I cook and there's only Grandma and I always have enough to share. I never got the knack of cooking for 1, 2, or even 3 people. I always had a big family. I raised 3 daughters and all of their little friends and their boyfriends and the kids down the street and, you know, little old people at church. So I am not a big church person, but my daughters used to like to go to church with my mom. And sometimes I would go with them, and on Sunday mornings they'd go to church and then they'd come home. A lot of times they'd bring a friend or 2 home with them, and they would bake in my kitchen on Sunday afternoons. They'd make cupcakes and they'd make cookies and, you know, whatever they wanted to do. Brownies usually. And then they would wrap up a couple of plates and they'd take them back to church at night for their youth group or, you know, whatever they had. And they'd give them, there was about 4 elderly couples. It was a small church that they went to. And 4 elderly couples in their late 70s, early 80s. And they would bring them baked goods. Now, that didn't happen every Sunday, but I bet it happened at least 2 out of 4 Sundays. They would meet at my house, they'd bake, they'd do all their things, and then they'd take their goodies to the elderly, which I really loved it when they did that. Okay, I think I told you that my granny used to cook for everybody, and, you know, I think it's important. I think food is a way to form relationships. It's a way to show that you care about somebody. It's a way to bring a tiny little bit of joy to somebody who might be going through a rough spot. So yes, I am going to make a nice, gorgeous plate of goodies for this guy up here. The guy down around the corner, I think he's gone for a few days. I think he's house sitting somewhere, so I won't make him a plate right this minute. But we have enough to share, and so we're going to. Yeah, we're going to. Early on, when I first started this channel, I got a comment. I deleted it because I thought it was exceptionally rude. And the commenter said, I think it was something like, I don't even know if I can say it. It was something like, if you have enough to share, you don't need the food bank. It's like, I'll tell you what I don't need. I don't need you. So anyway, yes, I am always going to share. If that bothers any of you, there's not a thing in this world that I am going to do about it. I'm always going to share. And I read in your comments that most of you, if you comment about it, you are very positive of the fact that I do share what I make. So I'm not worried about it. I got thick skin. I'm going to feed who I want to feed today, tomorrow, until the day I'm dead. And then I want my funeral to have food to go home for everybody. Actually, I don't want a funeral. I don't want nothing. I want nothing, people. Okay, let's stop talking about that. Let's get this potato salad prepped up and into the refrigerator. Then I am going to wait a few minutes, pull my meatloaf out. Then I'm going to prep my fried chicken, and then I'm going to fry my egg rolls and my fried chicken. I have to do that in 2 different skillets. But I'm going to do it at the same time because that is horrible. I got to like suit up for that so that I don't get grease splatters on me and the whole 9 yards. But it'll be worth it when we're done. We're about maybe an hour and a half from being done. All right, we're making progress, people. All right, we have 2 potato salads, one for me, one for the guy upstairs. And then right over here, let's see if I can bring them down. We have the 2 meatloafs that I just pulled out of the oven. They're just gonna sit and cool right there. Now, I'm gonna load my dishwasher. I think all my stuff is put away. I'm gonna load my dishwasher, and then I'm going to prep my chicken parmesan to fry it. I will bring you right back here for that, and then we're gonna fry. Then we're gonna fry. Okay, but then we're done. Then we eat for probably 4 or 5 days, and I don't have to cook, and that is a glorious thing, right? Beautiful thing. All right, I am going to prep my chicken now. And I think I said I was making Parmesan chicken. I only say that because mostly I use this in my coating. So this is how I do my fried chicken. The first thing I did was I cut my chicken up in small pieces. It's easier to fry. I like it better that way. It's just the way I've done it forever. Then I rinse it. Once it's been cut, I rinse it like 3 times in ice cold water. And then I put it on a dish towel, and then I fold the dish towel over it and I pat it dry. That really cuts down on the level of splatter. Then I take an egg and milk mixture, which I have right here, and I throw my chicken into that container, put a lid on it, shake it all around, and then I move my pieces to a container with the Parmesan cheese, do the same thing. Then I stick them on a baking sheet, and I start to heat my oil, and then I fry it from there. So let's get that part started, and then I'll bring you back down. Okay, here we go. Right down here, you can see this is a clean dish towel right out of my laundry. I have, like I said, I rinsed everything, and I took my tea towel, folded it over, blotted everything. Just gonna take a little bit of salt and pepper and season this. Not too much, because there's a lot of salt in the Parmesan, but we want it to taste good. And I'm not gonna bother with 2 sides. I know, blasphemy, blasphemy. It'll taste good. It'll have enough coating and stuff on it that you won't even know I didn't season both sides. It'll be our secret. Well, a little more pepper though. Have to be a little bit careful. I like a lot of pepper. Grandma doesn't enjoy it as much, but there we go. Okay, now the first thing I'm gonna do is I am going to move you so you can see this part. Let's see how we're doing. Okay, so we're going to dip in here. I'm going to put about 6, 7, 8 pieces in there. And then I'm going to put in here, and then I'm going to transfer them over here. All right, so I don't know how many pieces I have. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's start with that. So just going to get both sides. My hands have been washed. And then I'm going to dump them in here. And I don't love this part. I don't like my fingers to be disgusting. And they always are when I make this. So, hope this is a lid that goes on easy. Oh, there we go. And then I just shake it. And it is what it is. I'm not going to be fancy. I honestly have never had a problem. I don't like it heavily coated, so that should be perfect. And while I'm over here, I'm going to go ahead and turn my oil on. Okay, that should be good. All right, let's see what we got. Yeah, so it's just a nice light coat. just enough to give it a little bit of flavor and feel kind of like fried chicken. I have never been able to fry chicken with the bone in. That just is a skill that I do not have. So if any of you are able to fry chicken bone in, wow, I'm impressed. So I cannot do it. 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's give that a little. There we go. Okay. We'll toss those in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Put the lid back on. And if you don't have Parmesan cheese, you can season up some breadcrumbs and fry it that way. I could add some breadcrumbs to this if I wanted to, but I don't. Good enough. Let's get those over there. 1, 2. Can you guys see? Okay, and let's do another one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we'll call that good. Now you can see this is where I end up needing more Parmesan. So we're going to go through that whole half a can that I had, and I think maybe that'll be enough. So I'll have a brand new can that I did not have to use this time around, which is okay. It can sit on my pantry shelf for the next time I need it. There we go. Okay. That looks good to me. Get those on my parchment paper. There we go. And here's the last of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Shake and bake, baby. Shake and bake. And there they go. Okay, now my oil is heating up on top of the stove. My chicken pieces all look really good. I'm going to go ahead and some of these ones that were light in the beginning, I'm going to use up the rest of the Parmesan here. So let's go ahead and do that. I think I can do maybe 3 pieces. Maybe 1 more. Okay. All right, we're good. All right, let me get these in the sink. And I don't know if I'm going to try to bring the camera over there or not while I'm frying hot stuff. Do you guys feel like you need to see that? Can I just make an executive decision and say I'm not going to do it? But I will show you the finished product, okay? You guys know how to fry. Hot skillet full of hot oil. Don't crowd your stuff. Make sure you've got splatter-proof clothes on. Be safe. I'll bring you back for the final project. Here's the chicken. Okay, we are moving right along. Everything's looking good. All right, I'll come back when we're done. Okay, we are done. You can see that I suited up to fried chicken and egg rolls, and that went pretty well. As far as cleanup goes, all I really have is to clean off my counters, wash my 2 frying pans, and put food away. So I think we started around noon, give or take, and it's 3 o'clock, so we did 3 hours worth of work, and I have enough food to not have to cook for at least 3 days, maybe longer. Now, we already sampled the potato salad, so I'm not going to pull that out and sample that again for you. I have put together some trays for Robert. So the first thing we have is some of that cinnamon roll that we got at Food Bank on Friday. And then ouch, that's still hot. I have a container of fried chicken. I have a container of egg rolls. And I have a container of meatloaf. So hopefully that will be good. Now we're going to go ahead and sample. So I just put a little bit of everything on a plate, and I'm going to go ahead and sample for you and tell you what I think. You ready? Let me bring you down just a tiny bit. Of course, will you be able to stay there, though, is the question. Oh, it's always bumpy. Always bumpy. Okay, what should we try first? Let's try the meatloaf first. Now, the meatloaf is very tender. It kind of falls apart a tiny bit after you slice it. Not really. I mean, I have whole slices over there. But it is very tender. It is not compact, heavy, or hard. So let's try this. That is exactly what I was hoping for. By my standard, I couldn't have done any better than that. Here's a bite with a little, ooh, that's a little browned bottom. That is no. Get out. Shoo. I put him outside while I was frying because I was afraid that they would jump up on the counters. And there they are. I don't trust them now. All right, back to the meatloaf. The meatloaf is delicious. Let me try one more bite that has the topping glaze on it. Nice try. Nice try. This is Sissy. Sissy, get down. Where else can you watch a freak show like this? Okay, so the meatloaf is fabulous. I might as well just eat another bite. I love it. It's so good. I'll eat it with potato salad, and then I'll probably eat it with baked potatoes later. Okay. No. Shoot. Get. Anybody want 2 black chickens? I'm just saying. Okay, let's try the chicken. The chicken was my least favorite of the things to cook. It's just always so splattery, and there's no way around that. Let's try it. Delicious. Now, that is the reason I cut them into small pieces, is I can fry them quickly. They get done. They stay tender. So let me This is a big bite. I'm going to cut it in half. But this has everything. Can you guys see that? Nice, moist, crispy on the outside. It is really good. I wish my husband were here. He would love this. 3 or 4 of his favorite things all in one meal. He'd be in heaven. That's good. Okay. The chicken is perfect. Tastes exactly like I wanted it to. It's very good. The crispy part of the Parmesan coating is delicious. Oh, it was a nibble of chicken and meatloaf combined. I wish you guys were here. I would feed you dinner. All right, let's try our egg roll. I got a little sweet and sour sauce here on my plate. My egg rolls look like that. Did I show you the chicken? I can't remember if I did or didn't. There's the chicken. Okay. All right. Let's see how these are. Those are really good. Nice and crispy. The flavor of the filling is really good. Wow. They heat up in the air fryer in about 90 seconds. So these are great to have on hand. What did I like the best? Well, I'm kind of surprised. I thought it might go differently. But for today, I'm going to go meatloaf chicken egg roll. And the egg roll is fantastic. There's nothing wrong with the egg roll. But the meatloaf and the chicken are speaking to me today. Okay. Oh, hot in here. Let me make sure my other shirt stays down. Because that's a whole nother problem if it doesn't. Okay, there we go. I just had that on for splatter safety. Okay, we did it, you guys. Go ahead and leave me a comment. Tell me which of those 4 things you think you would have liked the best. The potato salad, the fried chicken, the egg rolls, or the meatloaf. And if you can think of something that you would have made with the grocery haul that you saw yesterday, leave me a comment and let me know. I've got everything else is packed away in the freezer or in the cupboard. Nothing's going to go to waste, although tomorrow I do have to cook my artichokes. So I'll do that tomorrow. All right, you guys, you are lovely as always. This video is stinking long. It's like a slumber party. Put it on before you go to bed at night and just, consider it slumber party. Okay? All right, you guys have a great day. Thank you.